it's not just happening here in our country. Take a look around. There is this worldwide lockstep effort to crush any dissent to the freedom-crushing NWO. Uncensored, unafraid, and unstoppable. Welcome to the Stu Peters Show. My name is Stu. What lurks in the home life of an evil man? The book of Proverbs states that no harm befalls the righteous, but the wicked are filled with trouble. Well, Justin Trudeau, the wicked prime minister / wicked evil dictator of Canada, made a surprise announcement yesterday. He and his wife, Sophie, together for 18 years, are splitting. Why? What happened? Well, for now, we don't know. Likely, we will never really know the truth. But his father, Pierre Trudeau, also a prime minister, was infamous for his many affairs. Why would his son be any different? Or if you believe the alternative theory about Justin's father, well, Fidel Castro was also legendary for the number of women in his life. Here's how the news website Politico describes things. Quote, "The abrupt announcement on Wednesday ends what was often described as a storybook marriage that united two rising Canadian celebrities, the politically ambitious son of an iconic former prime minister and a glamorous television host in Quebec." How nice. A storybook marriage. Here's another way of describing that. Trudeau's family life was a life promoted by a media that either directly promoted those lies themselves or else naively believed Trudeau's. They pushed these lies so they could help Justin Trudeau take power and so they could keep him in power, so that he could transform his nation into a left-wing dictatorship. They need Trudeau around so that he can crush whatever's left of conservatism in his country and whatever is left of Christianity. From the very beginning, Pastor Artur Pawlowski has been defending those most in need from the tyrannical excesses of the Trudeau regime. In 2020, he was viciously attacked by police and given a massive fine for breaking quarantine to preach the gospel and minister to the homeless. What a terrible thing. Well, Artur's son Nathaniel just recently appeared before the European Parliament to warn about what's happened to the once great Christian nation of Canada. Here's what he said.
Father was just found guilty of inciting mischief for giving a sermon to the truckers when they went and stood for our rights in 2022. A Christian sermon that referenced the solidarity movement was criminal in our government's eyes. A charge that has a penalty of up to 10 years in prison. This case sets a precedent to all Canadians and the world if you allow this to happen, that anybody, including politicians and media, do not have the freedom to say or express what they have on their hearts for fear that what they say is mischief and could be liable to prison. I myself have been charged for preaching and reading the Bible publicly because the government claims the Bible isn't inclusive and is hateful. So please, I ask you for help and to pressure Canada on this matter and to help us deal with our oppressors who act like modern-day Caligulas.
Is it any surprise that a tyrant like Justin Trudeau couldn't hold his marriage together? Pastor Pawlowski, no doubt, has a lot to say about the Trudeau tyrant of today, and he joins us now. Artur, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much for having me back on your show. It's always a pleasure, and thank you. We need your help now more than ever.
Yeah. So how can we help? I mean, what's happening to the once great country, most Christian country, arguably, on the face of the planet, even more Christian than our country here in the United States?
It used to be that way, but now we have been taken over by entities outside of our country. I mean, the Criminal Code of Canada, Section 176, was supposed to protect us out the window. The entire criminal code is out the window. Constitution, not valid right now. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms, fundamental guaranteed rights for all Canadians, out the window. In a preamble, it says, whereas Canada Whereas Canada stands for the rule of law and the supremacy of God, all of that has been kicked out as well. So we are living in a lawless society, and how you can help by letting people know what's happening. And me, as a warning, and that's, I believe, what is happening, what God is doing is using me as a warning to the rest of the free world. Be careful. If you're not careful, if we calm down, if we will be taken down, you're next.
How much of this is actually being carried out by Justin Trudeau?
Well, right now, all of it, but this didn't start in the past 3 years. I mean, Canada, or dictatorship, communist socialism, fascism, hybrid, as I call it, has been in the making for decades. Indoctrination of children. They don't teach them history anymore. They're teaching them communism and socialism. They are teaching that if you're white, you must hate yourself because of the atrocities that were done to other colors. I mean, the indoctrination is at the highest levels. They were making this for decades. The enslavement, the taxing Canadians to death. We already pay over 50% in taxes. 25% of Canadians are about to lose their homes. Young people like my son will never be able to afford a house. It's just impossibility. And that's what they want. As you know, the elites are telling us if we will own nothing, we'll be eating crickets and worms, and we will be happy. At the same time, those people are flying private jets and driving SUVs, eating the most expensive Japanese steaks, because there are two categories of people, according to them: the Justin Trudeau's, Caligulas of today, the mad emperors, the elites, the pharaohs that they want to be, and the rest of us are slaves. So they're creating two categories by eliminating the middle class. And that's what we're witnessing in front of our eyes. This attack is the biggest attack on the middle class ever attempted in the history of our world. So Justin Trudeau, no surprise here, he has been unfaithful from the very beginning. I mean, men, women, you name it. Even there are rumors that RCMP was covering motels so no one would see that Justin Trudeau would have young girls left and right. I mean, the scandal of this guy left and right from the very beginning when he was young is always associated with young, sometimes underage girls that then they would hash with a hush money. So no surprise here. They were separated for years, actually. This is not a news to us. Now it's official. His father did it as well. I mean, Justin Trudeau, Castro, or Caligula of today, he grew up in a messed up family. His mother was sleeping left and right with anyone and everyone, and the father was doing the same. At times, there were scandals that he had 3 women at the same time in his room while his wife, Margaret, was downstairs, a mother of Justin Trudeau. So he grew up in a dysfunctional family, and he is doing the same thing to the rest of us. I mean, he is a broken man. He is a guy of a broken family, and now he wants to break the rest of us.
Why does the media cover for him? What's in it for them? Why are they so desperate to protect Justin Trudeau?
Money. We in Poland, we used to have this saying that if you do not know what the whole thing is all about, it's always about money. About $3 billion were given to the so-called mainstream media to cover for him. I mean, this is a private media of Justin Trudeau or the Liberal NDP coalition. They are doing what they're being paid for, which is propaganda left and right. And you got to remember, I'm a Polish immigrant. I grew up under the boots of the Soviets behind the Iron Curtain. I have seen this before, and it's identical. The modus operandi is identical to what I remember growing up. One thing that you see with your own eyes, and a totally different story when you read in the papers or is being portrayed by the CBC, CNN, Global, or whatever.
Well, so how do hundreds of millions of people not see through that? I mean, you and I are sitting here talking about it. What's right before people's eyes, they have to be able to see it. Why are they just, willfully ignorant? Are they in denial? Do they want to imagine that Canada can't be this bad?
I think the problem we're facing is they're chasing after survival. I mean, we are in a survival mode. Two parents are working hard. They are relying on their checks, pension. You know that majority of Canadians are one paycheck away from homelessness. So I think what they've done in the past few decades, they entangled the whole population into fighting just to provide the necessities of life and a better future for their children. And that's exactly what I remember growing up. My parents didn't have time to protest. They couldn't go and rally. They had to work every single day, both of my parents, just to get a bread on the table. So that's what they have done in United States of America. That's what they have done in Canada. People are busy all day long just to pay the bills. And that's how they want it. That's how you create slavery. So many people come to me and says, we see what's going on. It's just, we don't know what to do. And that's where solidarity movement comes in, because what works for the villains today, the remedy can work as well. I mean, we've done it before. Poland, millions of Polish people took it to the streets, paralyzed their evil system, and got their freedom back. We need the same thing. We need a peaceful revolution again. We need solidarity. Martin Luther King Jr. style civil rights disobedience, Mahatma Gandhi way to take back what's rightfully ours. Like I said so many times to Americans, whose land is this? If it's Biden's, Clinton's, and Obama's, well, I rest my case. But if this is your country, if this is your children's inheritance, rise up, stand up, and fight for it while you still can.
You know, this is not only happening in the United States or Canada, it's also happening in all of the West, Australia, New Zealand. There's this lockstep, right? There's this, all of these nations are just simultaneously just absolutely obliterating, crushing, breaking freedom, individual liberty, Christianity. What do you attribute that to?
Well, the moment you kick God out of your society, out of your schools, out of your justice system, out of politics, what do you have? Well, you're stuck with the devil. In the Bible, it says, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. And I said that thousands of times. If you want your freedom back, you must invite the one that brings that freedom, which is God. The moment you kick him out, you get lawlessness. Because how are you going to base the truth on whose truth? Yours, mine, the Trudeau's crime family, or Biden's crime family, right? Everything is a lawlessness. So that's what they're doing. This is, you have to understand, this is a struggle between the wannabe pharaohs and the truth. The pharaohs hate the truth because the truth exposes who they really are, how evil, corrupted they are. So they hate Christianity, they hate Judaism, because we stand on the commandments of God. Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not lie, right? False witness. So that's an attack on anyone that competes, if you will, with their lies. Lies need to be supported by manipulation, by disinformation, by more lies. Truth is like a pillar. It stands on its own. So they hate it with a passion, and they need to eliminate anyone that dares to bring that truth. Also, there is a fight for hope. I am in a hot waters, charged over 40 times, metal cages, solitary confinement, imprisoned, arrested in and out, criminally charged. Why? Because I deliver a message of hope. In a time of segregation, separation, isolation, hope, it cannot exist. The governments are doing everything in their power with the help of the mainstream media to take that future, that hope away from the people. So here comes a pastor, a Christian, and says, hey, we've seen this before, and we can turn the tide around. We can fix the problem, but we got to come together in unity. We have to come in solidarity against this evil. So now automatically a man like this becomes an enemy of the state.
So it's not Biden's land. It's not Clinton's land. It's not Obama's land. It is our land. Your land belongs to the Canadians, the free people, a Christian people who want their freedom and individual liberty, who have those rights inherently given by God, right? Not by some fake government. You said rise up together. What does that look like? I've got about 2 minutes left here. I'm interested. I respect your opinion.
The moment people say enough is enough, the moment they will stop cooperating with the wannabe pharaohs, it's over for the pharaohs. They only rely on your obedience. You see, they want slaves that obey.
But you weren't obedient, and they threw you in prison. The people that went to January 6th were not obedient. They threw them in prison. So what's the solution?
Numbers. You see, they can take down one person, 10,000 people, but they cannot take 10 millions. That's the power. Again, solidarity, unity, coming together, families, children. Remember, this fight is not just for you and me. This fight is for our children, for the future of our nations. We must come together in millions and oppose this. If people will do that, they're going to win, and it's over for the villains.
Well, I'm looking at video of your son. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You're a tremendous leader, extremely brave. You're selfless. You don't care about prisons. Start a prison ministry. You don't care about death. You'll go home to heaven. I feel the same way, Pastor Pawlowski, and I just want to thank you on behalf of billions of people around the world for setting a shining example. And if only people would follow your lead, we can be free very quickly. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you. And God bless Canada. And God bless the United States. God bless humanity. Owen Schroyer is coming up next from InfoWars. First, I want to talk to you a little bit about the people that help to make this show possible over at Goldco. They also make it possible for you to protect yourself against the inevitable great financial reset. Resetting everybody's bank accounts to zero. It's going to happen. They're going to wipe your economic status off the face of the planet. Plus, blockchain, the mark, CBDCs, all of these things. Escape that by having physical gold and silver. Get it from Goldco. Call them today, 855-706-GOLD. Again, 855-706-GOLD. When you mention Stu Peters, you get up to $10,000 in free silver. Protect your IRA, your 401k, your investment accounts, your savings accounts, your checking accounts. Protect yourself. Have a hedge against hyperinflation. Criminal taxation. Get gold from Goldco, 855-706-GOLD. Owen Schroyer coming up next. Stick around. The Stu Peters Show is brought to you in part by Earth Echo Foods and their superfood product, Cacao Bliss. Cacao Bliss starts with 100% organic, rare cacao beans and also contains turmeric, MCT oil, cinnamon, and Himalayan salt. These ingredients were carefully chosen to support health, longevity, healthy weight, and even your happiness. You'll fall in love with a truly guilt-free chocolate, help reduce your cravings, facilitate weight loss, boost your energy, and combat inflammation with one delicious drink. It's gluten-free, by the way, also paleo, keto, and vegetarian diet friendly. You can receive an additional 15% off when you visit earthechofoods.com/stew and use discount code STEW.